I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Crystal Islet wasn't that good. I was so hyped up and excited, literally waiting for the update to Crystal Islet to come very, very impatiently. And then it just didn't really feel the same as when I listened to the predictions. So I'm here to share my opinions about why it just hit differently, and not in a good way. Before starting, I am Jeeode MSM, your local hyperfixated idiot, ready to analyze this song. Trigger warning, there's going to be a load of opinions in this video. Feel free to disagree, but don't harass. Shout out to MSM Void Monsters for the island footage, and special mentions to Gaibonin MSM and Plasmasm for their predictions. I'll link all their videos and channels in the description. So right off the bat, I notice it's calm, like some of the predictions. But it's not like a fast-paced calm. Unlike Plasmasm's Crystal Islet, it starts off fast and energized, but it still somehow remains calm. It reminds me of like waves in the ocean. They move fast, yet calmly at the same time. You catch my drift? And that's one thing that Crystal Islet was just lacking. It sounded calm, but it didn't have the energy to grab my attention as well as Plasmasm's or Gaibonin's. Plasmasm started off fast, almost like it was trying to drive a point straight to the listener, but it still managed to feel like it wasn't overwhelming us with a lot of information too quickly. Gaibonin's, on the other hand, started calm, but quickly progressed into a faster pace, with repeating quote-unquote phrases. Even though the pace was fast, it didn't feel like it was too much or too fast. And that's something that the official Crystal Islet could have done, maybe. Just listen to them and compare them to the official. And now, here's Gaibonin's. Next, I noticed that it has a sort of jazzy feel to it. But that's not really what a lot of us wanted out of it. Going back to Plasmasm's Crystal Islet, Risemouth was absolutely awesome. And that's because it had retro-y video game elements to its sound. Crystal Islet didn't have these elements, and that sort of flipped our expectations. And not in the good way, like when Shadow Islet came to be a Russian polka style song instead of dark and spooky like many people expected. It was a nice surprise, and it still managed to fit well. Crystal Islet may have flipped our expectations, but it wasn't as great. Another thing is that it did sound the slightest bit overwhelming at the end. There was so much to hear at once, and it was kind of hard to focus. I guess I'm not the only one who didn't really like Crystal Islet though. A user says, I have to agree, the official is great but it is missing something. And another user also says that, for a while I thought it was fan-made. And like I said, I don't think anyone here is saying it is bad or even the worst thing ever made. What we are saying is that it could have been better than it was. Overall, I'm not saying Crystal Islet was bad. I still like it, especially Teeter-Tauter's new tracks, Jeeode's little pose, Fung Pray's dance, the island design, and the quiet part before everyone starts playing at the same time. It is still interesting to listen to, even though what I mentioned before was basically saying otherwise. I just don't think that the hype was deserved. But then again, how could we know that it wouldn't live up to our expectations? It's alright, I definitely listened to it a lot. But would I listen to some of the predictions more than the official? Yeah, I would. It pains me to say that it is honestly my least favorite islet out of the 4 so far. But it is what it is, I guess. Anyways, thanks for watching and or listening. This is my first video in the My Singing Monsters fandom, and I thought, why not make it of something I love? Which are the Crystal Monsters and yapping. Drop a like and a comment, I would really appreciate that. Maybe even subscribe. Have a nice day or night or whatever time zone you're in, and I'm out. Whee!